Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. First tonight, as it grapples with its own internal issues, the Rockcliffe government's affordability housing woes are raising more concern. Letting cameras into her home, a Hobart mother has detailed her shocking living conditions in a social housing complex.
Mould-infested walls have been plaguing NATASHA Richardson's home for years. She has written to Housing Tasmania time and time again, but her concerns have fallen on deaf ears.
I keep getting ignored. I'm ringing housing, I'm expressing my concerns, and I'm very concerned for my safety and my daughter's safety.
A visit to NATASHA's home back in October revealed the mould had spread through several rooms. The department was planning further repairs a month later, but no progress has been made.
No one should be living like this, and I'm not the only one to live like this. You just have to look around at how many other people are living like this.
The single mum has been waiting almost 3 years on the housing register, and she's not alone. The average wait time is more than a year for priority applicants. Guy Barnett is the newest man on the job, following the state government's third cabinet reshuffle in a year, as the Rockcliffe government tries to reset its internal party disarray.
We now have the third housing minister in less than 12 months. It's time for this minister to do better than his predecessors.
The state government has promised to build 10,000 new homes in the next decade, but with more than 4,400 people waiting for social housing, there are concerns those targets won't meet future demand. The opposition says that commitment given by the previous minister doesn't pass the pub test.
That would mean that he should be delivering around about 83 properties a month, and in the previous month just gone, he delivered 8.
We remain committed to every target we've set, and what you've seen most recently is our government doubling down on our commitments and our investment.
The Department of Communities has been contacted for comment. Ainsley Kosh, 7 Tasmania News.
Well, Health Consumers Tasmania is calling for action, warning the community on what it says is a mounting COVID toll. 3 new COVID-related deaths and 1,839 extra cases have been reported. 22 people are currently receiving treatment for the virus in hospital. It comes as 500,000 PCR tests have gone through the Royal Hobart Hospital lab since the beginning of the pandemic. A 32-year-old man has been taken to the Royal Hobart Hospital following a workplace incident involving road construction machinery. Emergency services were called to the Clinton Road scene in Gilston Bay shortly after 4 o'clock. Police and WorkSafe Tasmania are investigating the incident. A man has pleaded not guilty in the Devonport Magistrates Court to murdering Dean Jupp in January. Blaze Christopher Baddeley has been remanded in custody and will face the Burnie Magistrates Court on May 10. He is one of 4 people charged in relation to the death of the 59-year-old Sprint man. Jet-setting Tasmanians are being warned to allow extra time before takeoff this Easter long weekend, with airports around the country seeing passenger numbers soar and delays to services due to staffing shortages. Passenger numbers at Launceston Airport are at 85% of pre-COVID levels this long weekend, with queues for check-in expected to take longer than usual.
We're expecting around 56,000 passengers over this holiday period. And just to put that into perspective, in a normal month pre-COVID at Launceston Airport, we may welcome around 120,000 guests.
The airport says people should arrive 90 minutes before departure. More Tasmanians will be able to access a career in construction through a Memorandum of Understanding signed between the state government, TAFE and Master Builders. The high-vis army is expected to boost skills and training in the sector.
This is how we want to see TAFE continuing to work in the future, working closely with industry, with employers, with industry bodies to ensure that we've got the right training in the right place at the right time.
We have an unprecedented pipeline of work ahead of us, but we need more people to deliver on that pipeline.
It's estimated the workforce will need to grow by 25% in the next 4 years to support planned projects. Tasmanians looking to quench their thirst with a local wine may need to savour the flavour with this year's vintage to be smaller than usual. Unseasonal weather is to blame. The industry now looking to safeguard its yield, pleading with locals before lighting a fire to consider the damage smoke can have on grapes.
Smouldering bushland that can take away a person's livelihood in an instant.
In the worst case scenario, smoke can wipe out a vineyard's complete livelihood for the entire season.
When we have those large fires especially, we do work with the wine industry, and we obviously we can't control where the smoke's going, but we let them know what's going on.
The fire permit period is set to come to an end next Wednesday, but Wine Tasmania would like to see this extended. Cooler weather, unseasonal rain and increased humidity has played havoc with grape growth and yield.
The good news is that it looks like quality is going to be very strong pretty well right across the state. The bad news is that there's probably not going to be as much wine as we would like produced from this year's vintage.
Wine Tasmania supports fuel reduction burns in autumn, but is asking anyone looking to carry one out to have a conversation with vineyards in the local area about when harvest is taking place.
Some of our vineyards in Tasmania have finished harvesting, some haven't even started, so it's such a localised situation.
A situation that could have a significant impact on an industry that contributes $200 million to the national economy. Elizabeth O'Neill, 7 Tasmania News.
A person has been taken to hospital with a shoulder injury after a two-car crash on High Street in East Launceston. Part of the road was closed and traffic diverted around 2:30 this afternoon as authorities assessed the scene. Debris was scattered along the road and airbags were deployed during the incident. Police are investigating the cause. Tasmania's best in cooking are preparing to put their culinary skills on show for a good cause. The annual Variety of Chefs Gala Dinner makes a return in August and all proceeds will be put back into the charity's Creative Arts program. Inspired by the event's beneficiary, the lineup of talented cooks were getting their ideas flowing this morning using kitchen utensils on the canvas.
Our mission is to ensure that Tasmanian children go being supported regardless of their ability or location.
Coming out to actually use that profession and our skills to help these children and their families is an amazing experience.
Tickets are on sale now for the night, which will also highlight the state's premium produce and beverage offerings. A Hobart cat shelter is putting out an urgent call for temporary carers in the lead up to Easter. 10 Lives Cat Centre needs 20 people to foster a feline over both the Easter and Anzac Day long weekends. All carers will be provided training, and while there's no obligation to foster a kitty long term, the centre says it would welcome more permanent carers to the team. To register, head to the centre's webpage. After a successful trial return to the market, one of Tasmania's top breweries is bringing back a popular drop. Cascade's first harvest beer is once again flowing from taps across the state, helping support local jobs in the process.
A simple concoction of 4 ingredients. Beer connoisseurs avoid a bitter end with hops at the forefront of their blend.
Hops have been grown here in Tassie since 1803, up in the Derwent Valley at our current site since 1865. So we have a really long history of locally grown hops for local brewers.
And to actually get the hops on the day that we're brewing is very unique.
Cascade Brewery is raising the bar to bring back its popular first harvest variety after it wowed consumers when it returned to the production line last year.
People are looking for this iconic Cascade brand. We returned to the market and the sales and feedback were so positive, the decision was made to repeat it again this year.
The style is increasing in popularity as the latest harvest period supported dozens of on-farm jobs to flourish among the vines.
Seasonally, we'll employ over 150 casual workers to come and facilitate harvest with us to make sure we can bring the crop in right on time.
A new sustainable growler will allow consumers to take home the product with little waste.
Basically it's 1.89 litres of fresh beer You buy the growler, you come back and you refill the growler.
It was one of the first Australian fresh hop beers to be produced in the early 2000s. Before being discontinued, just 180 kegs of the special brew is now exclusively available here in Tasmania.
We actually convert some of our brewing equipment into a different type of brewing vessel. So we create what's known as a hopback, which is a very traditional process.
Grace Evans, 7 Tasmania News.
North Launceston has wielded the axe, dumping a raft of players after last weekend's shock defeat to Clarence. Coach Brad Cox-Goodger blamed a lack of energy and effort from his young side and said the performance wasn't acceptable. It means another 3 young Bombers are in line to make their TSL debut against rivals Launceston. The undefeated Blues will be bolstered by the return of Jacob Boyd and Michael Musica.
Both boys have been in the last 2 premierships, so to have them back for a big game is really important.
Just hope they bring effort and energy. Whatever way the result goes, if we see improved effort, that's all I can ask for.
The grand final rematch will be held at Windsor Park this Friday. Tasmania missed out on a spot in the final of the Under-19 National Cricket Championships after a 65-run loss to New South Wales Metro. Chasing 240, Nivathan Radhakrishnan made a positive start, scoring 34, but following his dismissal, Tasmania lost the following 9 wickets for just 130 runs. Meanwhile, an all-round performance from teenager Ava Curtis spearheaded a win for the women's side against Victoria Country. She scored handy runs with the bat before taking 2 for 16 with the ball and capped it off with a run-out. And Jack Jumpers fans will be silenced for Friday's must-win match against the Breakers at My State Bank Arena. Technically, it's a New Zealand home game and they've been requested the clash be played without crowds. Tasmania can't afford to lose any matches if they want to remain in the playoffs race. The Kiwi outfit are all but certain to take the wooden spoon, but Jack Jumpers coaching staff aren't underestimating them.
We have to be better from the start. We have to create our own energy on the glass and on the defensive end, and if we do that, we should be okay.
Making the finals is every team's dream. That's what we work for, so hopefully a few things fall our way.
The men in green could have an extra trick or two up their sleeves after the Harlem Globetrotters paid a visit to training ahead of their Tasmanian tour later this year.
Good evening. Hobart and Launceston 23 degrees today, Burnie 21 and Devonport 20. Lyawini the low with 2. Temperatures though were mostly above average around the state. Bushy Park 22 degrees, Smithton and Friendly Beaches 21, Low Head and St Helens 20, the Bass Strait Islands 19 and Strawn 18 degrees. Mostly clear skies too over the state with some low clouds sitting to the west and over the southwest. The Bureau has described the low over the Bight as a dramatic low with cloud reaching through central Australia to the tropics. Onshore lower level cloud is over the eastern states. Tomorrow the high moves over the Tasman Sea as that complex low tracks over the Bight ahead of another high to the west. Winds west northwesterly 10 to 20 knots and up to 25 knots over the south, tending northwesterly in the afternoon, swells to 4 metres. Hobart tomorrow 20 and partly cloudy, 20 also for Cygnet, a shower on the way later, a late shower too for New Norfolk, 21 degrees the maximum. 21 also for Launceston, a foggy start, cloudy for Devonport, 19 the high and 20 the top for Campbelltown. Burnie expecting 19 and a cloudy day, 19 also for Strawn but a shower moving in, cloudy for Smithton and 21 degrees. 21 also for St Helens and partly cloudy, Swansea 20 along with Fingal. On Friday, showers extending statewide with northwesterly winds becoming fresh and gusty, partly cloudy over the south on Saturday with a shower over the north and mostly fine on Sunday until showers develop over the west in the afternoon, then spreading statewide. Sunny and 27 in Perth, partly cloudy in Adelaide, a sunny 25 in Melbourne, a shower forecast for Sydney and Brisbane. Clear right now in Hobart, 16, 15 in Launceston and 16 in Devonport. The wet weather coming in over Easter, Kim, not good for your Easter fishing trip as you chase the flathead. What do you put on your hook to catch them, by the way?
Just a lure, Merv, it's all I need. They come to me.
What?